Esther hears herself, and we tease her about it incessantly. She hears herself explaining how, well, it's been that way. It's always been like that. That's just the way that is. And we often say, when we sneak up on her, when she's not broadcasting that, it can be any way you want it to be. You don't have to keep regurgitating what is. Things do change. They just keep changing to the same thing if you keep focusing on the same way things are. Things are always changing. Do you want them to change to something different, or you want them to keep changing into more of what they already are? Because they're changing constantly, because it's fresh and new. It's constantly changing. It's constantly changing, constantly changing. Do you want it to change to the same thing? Do you want it to change to something that's new and different? Do you want it to change to something that's better? Do you want it to change to more that's like it's already been? Different places, different faces, same thing. You want something different, you got to think about it in a different way. So that's what we're all about here, isn't it? Finding a way to look at life through the lens of broader perspective, to look at life through the eyes of Source, to begin catching glimpses of who you really are and what you really want. Because you are creators. You want to accomplish the mastery of creation, which means you want to know about law of attraction. You want to understand that it's always consistent. You want to know how it feels within you. You want to know what your emotions are. You want to know why your emotions are your guidance system. You want to know why your guidance system feels the way it does under differing situations. Here's why. As you are in step 1 asking, as the contrast is helping you know what you don't want so you know what you do want, you're launching these rockets of desire, and your inner being, your source, what man wants to call God, stands in that vibrational reality, in what we are calling your vortex of creation, stands there holding steady the vibration of your furthest request, your furthest expansion. There, that larger part of you stands, offering that frequency, offering that knowing, that opinion, that point of view, being that prosperous being that you've asked to be, being that confident being that you've asked to be, being that flexible, fun-loving, joyous being that you've asked to be, being that. So here you are in relationship to that, with your brain, with your personality, with your habit of thought, with your mannerisms, with your approach to life. Here you are in some relationship with that expanded part of you. So when you're focused upon something in appreciation, you are an exact match to the opinion, to the perspective, to the knowing, to the being, to the attitude, to the mood of the source within you. And when you are in that kind of concert, there is no separation between you, and you feel wonderful. But if you're focused upon something, beating up on yourself or someone else, you're wrong, you shouldn't have done that, I don't approve of that, then you have found a mood, an opinion, an attitude that's so different from the way the source within you feels about exactly the same thing. And by the way, the source within you is focused upon exactly the same thing from the point of view that the source within you holds. So now you've got a differing vibrational situation going on, and that's what your emotions are. The more different the knowing or the believing or the pointing at or the active vibration between your inner being and you, the more different, then the stronger the negative emotion. So if you feel despair, you're really looking at something different than the way Source is looking at it. And it's the same thing. That's the thing that we really want you to hear. Looking at exactly the same thing. So when you find a reason not to like someone, you're setting yourself up for what you would describe as anger or rage or blame. Doesn't feel so good. Sometimes, dear hearts, you are willing to put up with those negative emotions. We don't know why anyone would, when the option of feeling good is so available, so readily available. But you got to practice it a little bit, because law of attraction is responding to where you are, and that's the rub. Law of attraction gives you more of how you feel. Oh, you don't like that? Here's some more. Now, law of attraction isn't delivering it to you with the glee that we are. Law of attraction isn't taking any delight in you getting more of what you don't want. But it does keep coming, doesn't it? And in attention to anything, wanted or unwanted, Law of attraction causes a momentum to occur. And so the more momentum, then the more power. You know that. Go 100 miles an hour and hit something. It's harder on what you hit than if you're going 5 miles an hour. Yes? Momentum does add power and speed. Things happen faster with more momentum. So if you sort of don't want something, it's sort of coming to you sort of slowly. If you really, 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 really don't want it, and you really, 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 really talk about it a lot, then it's coming to you really, 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 really now. Have you noticed? Law of attraction doesn't let up. Esther's been looking for the on and off switch for a long time. There isn't one. But when you go to sleep at night, the momentum does subside. And so that's a really good opportunity when you wake up in the morning to give your attention to things that do feel good, to get out of bed on the right side, so to speak, to get off on the right foot, so to speak, to be the being that you really are. So now you know everything we know. Go forth and practice. Fly, fly. We are eager to talk with you about anything that matters to you. There is nothing that is off limits. You will notice a perfect unfolding. We are aware of you. We are aware of who you are, what you want, where you stand in relationship to it. And we will call you. We will call you toward the solutions and the clarification that you're looking for. Even if you don't sit in the hot seat, what you want will be answered here. So just sit in a relaxed, expectant mode of everything going well, because things are always working out for you, and we'll have a wonderful co-creative experience. What do you want to talk about? Some things. All right, we're going to have fun.